And then there was 3. Still got the Minica, still got the red Cappuccino, still got the Z, but this guy's headed to Miami. He is not scared to mount it up there. I mean, I get it. If you look at it from this way, it doesn't look like it's gonna fit. He said right away, it's not gonna fit, it's not gonna fit. And I'm like, bro, can we at least try? And as you can see, it's narrow. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't have a lot of space, but it does fit. There's no seat in there. I'm not sure if he notices that yet, but he's gonna have to drive it up with no seat. I just drove it a block and a half with no seat and it felt crazy. Update, we're good. I gave him a bucket. He said he drives a lot better with that. So that guy's getting the bucket. I now understand why someone would be like, yeah, it's not really worth it, because I didn't take in consideration that he's probably gonna have to drive this on and off, God knows, maybe 5 times. And luckily I was here, you know, I could tell him everything about the car, like the window switches and everything, but ideally the next person might not be here to help him out. So it's gone though. Cappuccino. Next is the Minica, or maybe the Honda Z. And don't get me wrong, when I got this in Japan, I had intentions of keeping this car for, you know, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 months. But now that I found the car that I want to buy in Japan, I need to figure out what to do with these 2. Ideally, it makes more sense to get rid of the Minica. I've owned this car for, you know, a long while now, maybe even close to like 6 months. It's complete. I did everything I need to do with it. Paint it, rims, interior, radio, maintenance, LEDs everywhere, underglow. This car is complete. And at the same time, the Honda Z is kind of complete too. Like initially what I was going to do is take off this decal and put WBTF, but I think the car looks so good in its stock form that there's really nothing to do. Yes, I could paint the calipers. Yes, I could even swap out the rims, but I actually really like these and their modulables that kind of go with the entire kit. So it's really got me thinking what I should do next. Like, I don't mind keeping the Honda Z for a very long time, but like I mentioned on Patreon, there's a car in Japan that I really want to buy, a car that I feel like is cooler than the Z. I feel like it'll help Wait for the Fame more. I think I get more content out of it, and to buy that, I obviously need to sell one of these 2. In my opinion, the Honda Z is worth close to $10,000. I think a lot of people would agree with me. There's one that's sold on Cars and Bid for $7,100, and that one is cool, but it doesn't look like mine. And then there's one on Facebook Marketplace local to me. It's around $7,800. Again, cool, but not turbo and doesn't look like mine. So let's say this car is worth around $10,000, give or take, maybe 9, maybe 11, depending on the person. And then we have the Minica, which again, in my opinion, is worth, I'd say $5,000, right? Let's just say this is worth $5,000, that's worth $10,000. I think that the way that I'm looking at it and like the business side of it, it kind of makes more sense for me to keep the Minica. Essentially, they're the same exact car. Yes, I know the Honda Z is really better in every way. It looks better, it's safer, got dual airbags. I just got it. Look at the interior, full-time all-wheel drive, it's turbo. This car is 100% better than this. But is it 2 times better? Is it 2 times better than the Minica that is complete, again, painted? They're both automatic. This one's all-wheel drive and all that stuff, but I'm not doing anything crazy with it. This guy, in my opinion at least, looks just as cool. And for $5,000, you know, they do the same thing. It's not like this one is like a K-van where it's a huge difference. I mean, this guy can seat 4. This one can really only seat like 2.5. But it's really got me thinking, maybe I'll do a waffle for the Z and the Minica, although I think the person will always take the Z over the Minica. If I end up doing that, it would have to be like a Minica plus cash. I think that's the only way someone would even consider this over that for like 50 bucks. But yeah, that's definitely something that I'm gonna sit on, think about it for a couple days. In the meantime, although it's only 31 degrees out, I am gonna do some maintenance on the Z. I'm finally gonna do an oil change. I'm gonna swap out that air filter that apparently is the hardest thing in the world. We're gonna do the plugs most likely, and that's it. I'm not gonna touch the coil packs. I'm gonna leave them for the new owner. If I end up getting a misfire, I'll change it, but it doesn't really make sense for me to change them because the car runs great. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. I've been getting told on several comments, swap out the air filter. I can't wait to see the video of you swapping out the air filter. And I mean, it is annoying. It's definitely one of the reasons why I don't love Honda Kei cars. I think it's cool that this has the front. I think it's cool that the Acti engine's in the back. Same with the Beat. Same with a lot of the Honda Kei cars, but this is very inconvenient. I kind of prepared myself for the worst, and I haven't put the new one in yet, but this does look pretty annoying. So you have one clip right here. Mind you, I jacked up the car and had to come under to do this. But there's another clip right there, and then another clip, I believe, right there. So with those three, I kind of just was able to slide this one out. I haven't even took it out yet. Oh, wait. I think I spoke too soon. I've been trying to wiggle this thing out for the last 5 minutes. I think I got to remove the whole air box, which is crazy just to swap out an air filter. Well, but mine is definitely dirty. I can see it from here, so I'm going to do it. But, wow. Just for comparison to the Minica, if I want to swap out the air box, I just would have to do this. Flip these two up, take this cover off, put a new filter in, and I'm done within 60 seconds. Meanwhile, on Mr. Z over here, I need to jack up the car. I might even jack up the other side too, just to make my life a little easier. So with some more jiggling, I didn't end up jacking the car or anything. I am able to get the air filter out. It's not terrible. It's almost actually pretty new. I think Rodrigo told me that the car was serviced and it currently has shocking. Let me see. If anybody knows about that stuff, let me know. But I think he told me that this is still valid. Not 100% sure if that's true or not. You see that number there. But this doesn't look that bad. I mean, I'm going to swap it out anyway just because we're this far. But I wouldn't be shocked if when we do the plugs right now that they look clean. And the oil I checked is pretty clean as well. I'm just doing it to show people how to do it. So when they get their own Honda Zs, they can go through the same problems that I have. This is the new one. On this side, they look identical. But on here, you can see got a bit of gunk and black stuff there. Let's swap this over. Let's see if I can do it the same way too. If I could just somehow finagle it in there. Oh wow, look at that, man. I am the Kei mechanic, guys. I slid that thing in. It's no problem. Let me grab my phone so you guys can see what I see. So I'm under the car like this, for anyone's reference point. And then you just gotta do the same thing. Kind of go around these two wires and then just slide it in. It's really not that bad. I mean, it's annoying for sure. But like I said, you guys been kind of making fun of me for the longest to just hurry up and do it. So seeing how I came in here with a warrior's mindset, I swapped it in. Good as new. Next on the agenda is an oil change. Let's pop these seats forward. If you didn't know, the Honda Z motor's in the back. Let's pop off the engine cover. Ta-da! I actually don't even see where to add oil unless it's this, but I don't feel like it's there. Let me do some research because I know on the beat, and I believe the streets too, but maybe it is there. I just feel like this is on an angle. Why would they make me do that? Reason 750 why I hate Hondas. How am I supposed to... And yeah, I could have a different funnel. I definitely could, but this is a pretty standard funnel. And like this one is so thin that it's gonna overflow right away. I guess I'll do it like this. Oh my God, Honda back at it again. Look at this. Can't make it up. You can't make up this Honda Z maintenance. Are you kidding me? Like, is this actually real? The fact that they put the intercooler right here, so you can't use a socket. So I moved over to this side, changed locations a bit, and now finally got this off. Let's see how dirty it is. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I feel like I said, I think this thing got a tune-up prior to export. It's dark, but it's not the worst thing I've seen. All right, let's let this go all the way down. Remove the filter next, which is right there. This I already loosened, so it should come out no problem. Here's the air filter for all my Honda Z homies in the future. And then you could also use the OEM Honda blue filter. I'll put a picture on the screen right now. That one also works, but I'm gonna just put this one in. I'm gonna be using 10W30. I heard I could also use 5W30, but now that it's kind of transitioning into the warmer weather, I think this should be fine. So I'm gonna put a little bit in here, sprinkle it around the rim, and then we'll see if this guy fits perfectly. That's good. Now let's pop these 3 off and swap out the plugs. The Honda God strike again. I can't see. I know it's definitely loose, but of course the plug doesn't want to come out. It's in this weird angle. Time to grab some tissue and maybe that'll help. We'll be replacing it with these NGK 6KR SE11.
You got a permit to work from cars?
Now let's just do this last one. And I think, you know what? I'm gonna put the new coil packs, just because I already got them. I might as well put them on, and I'll just keep them in the box, and if something goes wrong, I'll sell it and give it to the next owner, and it'll just come with the car. All right, so we got new plugs, we got new coil packs, we got new air filter, we got a fresh oil filter and fresh oil. Let's make sure everything was done correctly. Any lights? Start it up. Sounds good. I still want to do the valve cover gasket at some point, maybe even paint it in that same process. No leaks under here. All right, so we're officially done with that. Stay tuned for the next video where I'll be making a video on that Daihatsu Move. What I want to do now is walk over to the Cappuccino. That's David with the green cap. We're going to swap over the idle control valve, and let's see if my check engine light goes away.
Fired up.
All right, so we're going to let this guy warm up. I'm going to drive it around the block a couple times. All right, so officially in the cap, I realized one thing so far. I am back at 1500. You guys remember I manually adjusted my idle back to 1000. Right now I'm at like 1700, honestly. No check engine light, but I haven't moved yet. So let's drive and see if I have to manually adjust it again. I mean, the main goal right now is for my check engine light not to come back on. Let's see if swapping that over made any difference. If not, I might just give it back to him and he could keep it, but let's see. We're gonna do a couple blocks of driving. In that, my check engine light will 100% turn on, or maybe the problem was fixed and I just need to manually adjust the idle. I didn't even make it 2 blocks. We're actually back to step 1. Idle back to surging, check engine light back on. All right, I guess at this point what I'm gonna do is end this video. We worked on the Honda Z. Everything there kind of got situated and fixed. And for this guy, I think I'm actually gonna try to plug in, punch in, and find out exactly what's giving me a check engine light. Because as we can see, it obviously isn't the idle control valve. But thank you guys for watching. I'm actually on my way to make a video on this car behind me.